Have you ever heard that saying, cheap things aren't good and good things aren't cheap? Well, what if I told you this keyboard turns that saying on its bloody head and proves that all wrong? You'd probably call me a big fat liar, wouldn't you? Well, let me give you 10 reasons why I think this keyboard might be the best gaming keyboard you can get under 50 notes. But first... So now, the trendy ASMR unboxing's over. Let's get to those 10 reasons why I think this keyboard bangs harder than a frickin' Orny chimpanzee. First, just check out the space-saving design, lads. Now, this is what's known as a TKL keyboard, which stands for 10 keyless design. Keep up. That means it ain't got a number pad, you see, so that saves space on your desk. Some people won't like that it ain't got numbers, but I think most people will actually prefer it. Now, this keyboard takes it one step further and cuts down the space by a further 20%. Just check out the size difference between this keyboard and my other 8-bit Do keyboard with a 10 keyless design, and the keys don't feel any smaller either. I also like the colour scheme of the keyboard, just black with a few shades of grey for the keys, and the height adjustment on the back comes in 2 stages, and I find setting 1 to be absolutely spot on, son. Now, let's turn your attention to the keycaps themselves. Where's the letters at, lads? Well, see, with this keyboard, the letters are actually on the side of the keys. And I think that's pretty nifty, because it looks mighty good at night, and it means when you're lying back on your chair, you can see what you're typing, no problemo. Which brings me to my next point. If you want to change these switches, you absolutely can, son. This is a completely customizable design, you see, and Redragon bundle your key remover in the box. You just pull them out, and it's easy as pie. Then you can just bang in any key switches that you buy online, and it's Bob's your uncle and Sally's your aunt. But what switches are actually bundled with this keyboard then? Well, Redragon have bundled these with some Mint Mambo linear switches, which might sound a bit like Mambo Jambo to you, lads, so let me explain. They're quite light in feel, which the more faster paced gamers are gonna like, but they're not like your typical off-the-shelf style mechanical switches. They've got a 2mm actuation distance, which isn't so short that you keep accidentally pressing the keys, but it ain't just about that. Listen to how they sound. Proper hushed and creamy sounding. I really like that, and that brings me to my next point, which is the specific build design of this keyboard. You see, lads, it's what's known as a gasket design. Let me explain. Gaskets create a softer, more cushiony feel by suspending the plate between the keyboard frame, so that reduces harsh impacts. This makes your typing quieter, isolates vibrations, and it's often associated with an higher build quality. And when you take into account that this keyboard is 50 quid, lads, this ain't a feature you'd really associate with a cheaper keyboard. And check out the noise dampening that you got inside it as well. This combines with the gasket design to make the acoustics and feedback you get from the keyboard more enjoyable. And let's talk about the connections. So it's got 3 ways of connecting, right? So you got USB-C wired, Bluetooth 3 and 5, and 2.4 GHz for the lag-free gaming. And then you got this switch on the back here labeled Windows and Mac. So if you've got a multi-computer setup like I have, you can actually switch using this keyboard from the PC to the Mac in a jiffy. It's little convenient touches like this that I might not have expected from a 50 quid mechanical gaming keyboard. And check out the RGB lighting. Redragon call this a south-facing design. A bit like a quality garden, really. Except it's not, because I don't see any grass or freaking flower beds. But I get what it is they're saying. You might be thinking, so what's the benefit of having a south-facing RGB keyboard? Well, if you position the LED towards the bottom of each switch rather than the top, you can get improved aesthetics with the lighting, depending on the keycaps you're using. It can look a little bit more even and have a cleaner look. You might think this sounds a bit like a gimmick, lads, but a lot of keyboard enthusiasts actually prefer south-facing RGBs. I know there's some right bloody wally brains out there, but take a look at this Reddit post if you want to see what I'm on about. See the top photo? That's a south-facing RGB design, and the one on the bottom is a north-facing design. It depends what overall look you prefer, but you can tell the evenness on the top photo is a little bit more uniform, innit? The other thing about the lighting is that it's easy to change the colour scheme using some commands directly on the keyboard. So you don't actually have to install any specific software, as it just works out of the box, which I prefer because I don't really like getting bogged down with extra software on my machine. Now, I'm really impressed with the general build quality of this keyboard. So as I mentioned earlier, it's a space-saving keyboard, right? But it still weighs in at 1.15 kilos. Now, I've tried bending this thing with my bare hands. I'm a proper solid geezer. So if I can't break it, then let's be real. It probably means Eddie Hall don't even stand a bloody chance. Now let's talk about the price, because I've mentioned many times you can get this keyboard for about 50 nicker. Well, if you look on the website, right, it says 57 quid. But I've noticed you can get money off using certain codes. And right now there's a 15% discount there, which would actually bring that below 50 quid. I just feel the value that you get from this keyboard is 100% there. But let's try balance this review out with some negatives then, shall we? Well, the first thing I'll say is that the typing experience, while it does feel premium, it might be a little bit too creamy for my liking. And you know, I like my keys to be like my women, lads. I like 'em hard and fast rather than quick and creamy. You see, I'm not the most delicate a typist, shall we say. I got proper strong fingers and I just like slapping my keys into another dimension. So this design would never suit my style of typing. I'm just a little bit too rough, innit? I'm more into the clicky-clacky style keys like the ones in my 8-bit Do keyboard. The added feedback I get from that keyboard just registers a little bit better in my brain. Just for your information, I did do a typing test with my 8-bit Do keyboard and I got 5 words per minute better on that compared to the Redragon. Now I will say, I'm used to the 8-bit Do keyboard, so it's not a completely fair test. Had I practiced on the Redragon for a couple of weeks, I probably would have improved that score beyond what I could have achieved on the 8-bit Do. Because the Redragon is just a quicker keyboard overall. The keys are linear and it doesn't take much pressure to actuate the switches. Another thing is, whilst I do like the space-saving design, I do like the top of my keyboards to have a few shortcuts and toggles, a little bit like my 8-bit Do keyboard. But it does add a little bit more space and take away from the clean look. So it's just your personal preference. If you want a keyboard to have the bare essentials, then the Redragon is absolutely the one. Now let's have a quick game of Halo and you can see the keyboard in action. And you might learn a thing or two, if you're lucky. So yeah, well done if you're still here, you made it to the bonus content. We're playing Halo 1 Combat Evolved today, which might be one of the only games I play. Kind of stuck in the past, really. And yeah, we're having a gander at a map called Damnation, spawned with assault rifles, which if you don't know, happens to be the shittest gun in the entire game, and radars are on. See that little thing down there, lads? Keep up. So here I'm thinking, I need to get rid of this shitty assault rifle, and what appears before me is this alien piece of shit. And I'm thinking, that's great mate, just what I needed. Then I see myself an overshield and run up to it with much haste. Then I turn round to go finish the job, and little did I know there's this little twat here, active camoed, and he runs up to me and flamethrowers me arse. Then I think to myself, I've had enough of this. I'm going to go and round these dickheads up now and shoot them dead. Yeah, and just watch what happens.
Double kill. Triple kill.
Whoa!
Killing spree. Killing spree.
Yes!
I told you I was going to shoot him dead, didn't I? Yeah. Listen to those keys, lads.
Oh, you up. Shit. Ah, run. Oh, for God's sake. Oh, no. Oh, shite. Oh no. Oh no. Ah!
Told you I'd shoot him dead, didn't I? Anyway, you can jog on now. That's the review over.